I scratch my head every time I hear the name Kobe Bryant right now, and I try to get a dictionary and try to find a word that what he's doing right now, and I'm just
17th of February in the year 2013 would be a day etched in basketball history because of two men. It was the fourth quarter of the All-Star game. LeBron James, reigning champion, odds-on favorite to win his second MVP in a row, catches the ball on the wing. And Kobe Bryant, a man roughly weeks away from rupturing his Achilles tendon, locks him up and doesn't let him breathe.
Just trying to see him just trying to dunk on me. He gonna lay it up at the end. He's just trying to dunk on me, Craig. Oh, no. He's just trying to dunk.
This story, in the early 2000s, is one of basketball's biggest potential against basketball's biggest superstar. Today, we go through every chapter of that great war, and at the end, we answer the question nobody has ever fully settled: who really won when it was just the two of them? It all started in January 2004. LeBron was 19 years old, and it was just 4 months into his NBA career. The Cleveland Cavaliers were in Los Angeles to face the three-time champion, the Lakers. Kobe Bryant is 25, already a legend, already carrying the permanent shadow of 3 rings and a Shaquille O'Neal divorce that hasn't fully healed yet. This is supposed to be a formality, a veteran showing a teenager what the league actually looks like.
Back on the floor, and no big surprise, LeBron James is standing by his side. They're both at midcourt.
But then LeBron outscores Kobe, but the Lakers still won that game.
LeBron was injured and Kobe is out, so both are gone. James.
Now remember when
It is the first of 22 meetings, and it sets a tone that will hold for the next decade. LeBron's team's winning, Kobe doing everything individually possible, and the scoreboard refusing to cooperate. Their next 2 meetings are injury-plagued on Kobe's side. Several of their early meetings came while Kobe dealt with injuries, and the results follow the same pattern. LeBron's teams win. But here is the important detail the narrative loves to skip. Kobe's individual numbers in these early meetings are competitive. The problem was never Kobe's performance. The Cavaliers often had the better supporting cast in those individual matchups, while the Lakers were still rebuilding after Shaq's departure. So hold your take on who the better player was. For now. Because none of that fully explains what happened in March 2006. Because that night, the rivalry stopped being a storyline and became something personal.
Remaining games, naturally there'll be a lot of pressure on them. They must win them because we know that Sacramento is hot right now in the 7th position, a game ahead of the Lakers.
Three-pointer and Kobe started how he meant to go on. Kobe Bryant drops 38 points on LeBron James and the Cavaliers.
Not live up to expectations, had some problems with teammates, had to be suspended last year. Him and Gilbert Arenas weren't seeing eye to eye. Well, he's getting a fresh start in LA and trying to make...
LeBron answered with an efficient 26 points, and it served notice to the league. The real war had finally begun.
He can post up, and then he is always a three-point threat.
James trying to get himself going, and there it is, his first field goal.
By 2007, the national media debate had reached a fever pitch. Who was truly the best basketball player on the planet? We got our definitive answer across a legendary back-to-back stretch of meetings. On February 11th, the Lakers traveled to Cleveland. While LeBron struggled with his shot and finished with just 18 points, the Cavaliers still ground out a 99-90 victory despite Kobe's 36-point effort. Then, just 4 days later on February 15th, the real fireworks exploded in the rematch. Kobe answered with 34 points, but LeBron completely dominated this time, exploding for 38 points on an incredibly efficient 10 of 16 shooting to lead the Cavs to a 114-108 win. The Cavs swept the season series, and this explosive week ignited the "who's better" debate like wildfire. No more rookie versus veteran. This was prime versus prime in the making. LeBron was ascending as the league's most complete player. Kobe, post-Shaq, was proving he could carry a franchise on sheer will. Those back-to-back games were the spark. Every crossover, every block attempt, every stare-down felt personal. You could see it in their eyes, the respect mixed with that burning desire to prove superiority. But just as the rivalry hit fever pitch, something happened that nobody could have imagined. They stopped competing and actually became teammates. The first glimpse we saw was at the 2007 USA basketball scrimmages in Vegas, pushing each other ruthlessly, rivals in every newspaper and every barbershop in America, showing up to the same locker room, wearing the same uniform.
Up underneath.
court, not as long in FIBA competition. Kobe early.
What coach Mike Krzyzewski saw in that first week was two alpha competitors figuring out, in real time, how to coexist. We wouldn't call it a seamless experience. It was far from that. But we can say the two players understood what was at stake. America had embarrassed itself at the 2004 Athens Olympics, coming home with bronze when the world expected gold. The mission was redemption. The 2008 Beijing Olympics came around, and with Kobe emerging as the team's emotional leader, LeBron his relentless partner, they went undefeated, 8 wins from 8 games, reclaiming gold with style. Kobe's leadership set the tone, while LeBron dominated statistically. The same men who dueled in the NBA linked arms internationally. We saw complete heroics. They replicated the exact same undefeated dominance 4 years later at the 2012 London Olympics.
Put it on the deck and got to the bucket. Williams with the extra pass to Kobe. Kobe with a sweet ball fake.
For nearly half a decade, the two greatest individual forces in the NBA stood shoulder to shoulder, completely unbreakable, proving that their mutual respect ran far deeper than any regular season box score could ever show.
Darren Williams. LeBron, oh my!
But the moment they came back to their own teams, the gloves were back on. And what came next was the peak of everything. 2007 to 2008 season. Kobe wins his first and only regular season MVP, the result of years of sustained excellence finally acknowledged on the league's biggest award stage. His Lakers, rebuilt around Pau Gasol, are a legitimate championship machine. But in their 2 meetings that season, LeBron was dominant, outscoring Kobe in both matchups. 2009 and 2010. Kobe wins championships 4 and 5. LeBron wins back-to-back MVP awards and doesn't reach the finals in either season. The rings are pulling Kobe ahead in the legacy conversation. The numbers are pulling LeBron ahead in the head-to-head. Neither man is talking about it publicly. Both of them are absolutely thinking about it. Then LeBron goes to Miami in 2010, and the dynamic shifts permanently.
Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. To say it was always in my plans, I can't say it was always in my plans because I never thought it was possible. But the things that the Miami Heat franchise have done to be able to free up cap space and to be able to put themselves in a position this summer to have all 3 of us,
Christmas Day 2010, and it was the Lakers versus the Heat, the most anticipated regular season game in years. LeBron goes for 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. A triple-double on the holiday game that the entire league is watching.
Andrew Bynum set to check in for the Lakers. Shot clock down to 4. James sees that, fires.
LeBron completely switched gears in that game, and the ongoing rivalry just brought a lot more glory into the performance. Kobe had little flashes of his own stardom, but that was LeBron's court.
They're playing, they know how they're playing, and putting Chalmers as Bryant finally scores with an emphatic.
Kobe, not to be outdone, plays one of these Heat Lakers games wearing a face mask after Dwyane Wade broke his nose, and scores 33 points through a shattered face and a defense that knows exactly what's coming.
And for him, Kobe Bryant, difficult shot, makes it look easy. Well, we've got a nice little pace going here early. Bryant, little shake and bake, draws the foul.
That is Kobe Bryant. That is the entire argument for his side of the debate contained in one image. A man in a protective mask, dropping 33, refusing to let any of it be easy. He came out from that game with a sick nickname, the Masked Mamba. Fast forward, now it is 2013 and back to the All-Star game. Back to Kobe locking LeBron up in the 4th quarter of an exhibition that nobody was supposed to care about. Back to 2 competitors who simply cannot share a court without making it mean something. And then Kobe Bryant's Achilles snapped, and his career was never the same. 22 games, 12 seasons. Here is what the record actually says. LeBron's teams, 16 wins. Kobe's teams, 6 wins. LeBron's individual averages across those 22 games: 28.2 points, 7.4 rebounds, 7.3 assists. Kobe's 24.6 points, 5.0 rebounds, 5.2 assists. LeBron led nearly every major statistical category: points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, field goal percentage, true shooting percentage. By the head-to-head statistics, LeBron James won this rivalry. That is not opinion. That is the scoreboard and the box score and 22 data points across a decade of basketball. But Kobe Bryant, in the final meaningful meeting between them, a non-playoff, non-meaningful February All-Star game, locked down the reigning champion and best player on earth in the fourth quarter, blocked him, and jaw-jacked at him on the way out. Weeks later, his Achilles ruptured mid-game, and his career was never the same again. He never surrendered, not once, not in a single one of those 22 meetings. And if you ask the basketball world which of those two things they remember more vividly, the 16-6 record, or Kobe's face when he was locking up LeBron at the All-Star game, you already know the answer. Here is the cruelest part of the Kobe versus LeBron story. They never met in the playoffs, not once. Between 2007 and 2015, either Kobe Bryant's Lakers or LeBron James's teams appeared in almost every NBA Finals, but never both at the same time. The basketball universe kept them in separate conferences, on separate tracks, circling each other without ever colliding at the moment it mattered most.
Kobe and LeBron, 22-time worst record in the NBA coming in. Worst in the Western Conference, and Kobe.
4 MVP awards for LeBron, 1 for Kobe. Though his 2005 to 2006 season, when he averaged 35.4 points per game, is one of the greatest individual scoring seasons in NBA history, MVP or not. 5 rings for Kobe, 4 for LeBron, with more basketball still to be played. 2 gold medals won together. A friendship built in Las Vegas training camps and Beijing locker rooms that outlasted the rivalry itself. So let's resolve our opening loop. Who truly won this legendary rivalry? By the head-to-head numbers, LeBron James had the statistical edge. He was the more efficient scorer and the ultimate floor general across their 22 matchups. But Kobe, in the last moment they shared as true competitors, locked him up in an all-star game with a broken body and a point to prove, and walked away looking like he'd won the whole argument. Kobe Bryant held his ground until the very end, right up until a tragic Achilles injury in 2013 permanently closed his athletic prime. Maybe that is the only answer this rivalry was ever going to give us.